Report a shot fired at officers trying to stop the vehicle. We have one officer shot.
We got shots fired. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red, shots fired.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Now it's Shots Fired with your hosts TJ Kirgin, Dinah Death Milberg, and the lovely Krystal Powers.
What's up, guys? It is Shots Fired Estrogen Edition.
And oh, sorry, I couldn't help myself.
You seem way too pumped about that.
I'm excited. There's a girl here. Makes me happy too. I mean, another girl. It's usually just me and.
Oh, it's the most that's ever been in here, though, at once.
I know.
For this show, so.
We just need one more, then we can totally dominate.
Oh, that's great.
Take over the world.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so I'm not ᵃᵗ&ᵗ. He's doing Florida man things again. He's probably like, I don't know, trying to eat dinner with an alligator or something weird like that. So I'm covering for today. I'm Alex, and we've got Krystal Powers.
Just Krystal.
No, it's Krystal Powers.
No relation to Kenny.
There's totally relation to Kenny.
Although I have to say, I did watch like a couple clips.
Is it not awesome? Magazines.
I hate you. He's pretty funny.
Yes, I told you that show is awesome.
Though a little bit,
it gets worse. It just goes downhill from there. There's also one called Vice Principals, where he basically plays the same character, but a teacher hell-bent on becoming the principal of the school.
Amazing.
And it's exactly what you think it would be.
Nice.
It's awesome. And why don't you introduce yourself? We have another guest person today who will hopefully after today be on more than once or quit. It would be one of the two.
It's got to be one of the two. My name is ᵃᵗᵗ&ᵗ. Just Marisol. Nothing special after that.
So we're bringing you on because we've got a bunch of them in July, like literally back to back to back to back every single weekend.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Good month.
Busy month.
Busy month.
And at Tactical SHT, we have a ton of events going. One of them we're finally, after, I want to say it's been like a year of people asking, able to kick off Stop the Bleed medical classes again. So Marisol is going to be teaching that class. Before we dive into everybody stuff that we've got for today, tell everybody a little bit about your background, what you've done medical-wise.
Yeah, so the last few months have been really kind of just prepping for this thing because I didn't realize how much was going to go into organizing this part of it. My background, I was in Florida, and that's where I started as a paramedic, went and worked my way towards a tactical paramedic, and gosh, that's so fun.
Wait, what's a tactical paramedic?
As a tactical paramedic, you get the fun stuff, meaning...
Go on.
So it's a different type of environment, as in you're working with, most of the time, a local SWAT team or a task force.
Ooh.
So if they get a boo-boo, you fix
that's
it.
just sexy right there.
You get to carry a gun.
Yes, that's the nice thing.
You're not just like, paramedics aren't allowed to. Big no-no.
Yeah.
She's kidding up with the guys, going in, wearing a gun, breaching, stuff like that.
So the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
Yes, in certain states, they're taking away some of that fun stuff from their TAC medics. Thankfully, Missouri's not one of them.
Yeah.
But there are some states where you can't, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Trauma shears.
Trauma shears, they're great, but they only get you so far.
So you're teaching a class, and you have all this experience. Mm-hmm. How long have you?
There's more.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
There is more. So that's kind of where it started. And from there, it led to some search and rescue stuff.
Nice.
In Florida, there's gators.
There is.
A little bit of land, a lot of water. Mm-hmm. So having that water and different terrain and navigation makes it an awesome search and rescue. Pretty much experience the ability to gain that experience in all these different terrains, from land and sea and air. It's awesome. That's cool. Throw some canines in it, it's even better.
How did you get into it?
Really, it's just knowing people.
Yeah?
You just connect.
Like when you were a little kid, did you know that's what you wanted to do? No?
No, I wanted to be, I think I wanted to be a vet, and then I accidentally killed my fish, and I just wanted to pet it.
And you crossed that one off the list.
I certainly did. I wanted to pet my fish, and I squished it.
No.
That was done.
The aggressive petting.
I mean, you could have maybe been a vet, just not like a...
No, it traumatized me as a kid.
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
that'd
no mas.
Oh.
It wasn't. I'm good. It's been a while.
So wait, that was in Florida?
Yes. So
and then
now I'm back here, and last 4 years or so I've spent as a RN.
Cool.
And working in different trauma centers. Got to do some travel and learn a lot from these big trauma centers who have all the resources they could ever want, and then some, to some smaller rural emergency departments who, you know, aren't used to or up to date on different protocols and procedures for a lot of things. So it's a lot of learning for everybody. And now I'm here permanently with some family, and then I found these guys. So
jury's still out if that's good or not.
Well, I remember one of two options. But
True
no,
story.
it's been a blast. So hoping to get more just into the education side. And
so you're teaching a class?
yes. So foundation is really just stop the bleed. That is probably the most beneficial class that you can start with for the general public and anyone.
And that's the one that you're teaching?
It is.
Cool.
So July 15th is the date that we have set for that. It's a Saturday, I believe, at 3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 to 6.
Yeah.
I did.
3 to 6, and it will be at the St. Peter's location. We're doing it in our
In the combatives
room, so we'll have plenty of space. We'll go through literally just introduction, the basics, and after this class, we're hoping to have a advanced level, and that would include, you know, more care under fire type things. And unfortunately, with the way things are nowadays, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Even for people who are not first responders. But
No, a lot of people before thought like basic stop the bleed, you're good, you're covered, that's as far as you need to go. And it's getting to a point where between the riots and mass shootings and civil unrest and all the other stuff we've seen, that knowing how to be able to do, you know, care under fire, more advanced trauma, a little bit more, you know, stop the bleed, mass casualty stuff is not a bad skill to know how to have, unfortunately.
right, and it's crazy to think about. You know, in fact, I was talking to a customer this morning. We were about some soft body armor that is now going in backpacks, and it's like, you know, I snuck things that I shouldn't have in my backpacks. Now we're having to protect our kids by this. It's just such a different world now, and
not getting any better.
it's not going to. No. So, of course, it's open, and I want people to have the skills and knowledge, and I want them to feel confident too.
Well, I think it's a great idea, especially for people who think they know all these things. Like I took a, oh my gosh, brain fart. What's the one underneath paramedic?
EMT?
EMT.
Yeah.
I took an EMT course like 3 years ago, and I got scene safety, and then it's all downhill from there.
But you know what?
Like
Scene
I could
safety
use a
is
refresher.
So important.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
people
it
joke
is.
about it, but I think it's becoming more and more important because, you know, if we're just looking at, you know, stopping the bleed, like you have to make sure that, for one, you're good.
Right.
Otherwise, you got two out.
Right.
And again, we're talking about MACTAC, you know, what are we dealing with too? And as a civilian or a bystander, you are that person's best chance until professionals are able to arrive on scene.
Right.
Which
and take
sometimes
over.
might be a while, especially
oh my gosh, yeah.
if you have an active shooter situation. I mean, it may be a while. There's times where if they're pinned down, or, you know, you've seen the instances where SWAT takes forever to be able to respond.
Right.
You may be it for half an hour.
Yeah, well,
if somebody's bleeding out, a half an hour is dead and been dead for a minute.
certainly, and that's not really a good spot to put it back in either. So,
No.
I mean, even if you do have SWAT arrive on scene too, it's now we're dealing with negotiations and other stuff too that, depending on where you're at, people have their opinions and stuff. But
Are you going to cover self-aid too, or would that be more of a level 2?
Ooh.
I feel like I'm going to take that by, I'm going to kind of judge how people are responding to.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because if I feel like they're just, they're getting it, then absolutely.
But if you got a bunch of people who literally it's the first
If it's
any
the
sort of
first,
medical training at all,
then they may take anything other than just like a little bit of basic to level 2.
yeah. The other problem with that is just I'm encouraging people to really come out, stop by the shop, check this out, and sign up because everybody wants to learn how to put holes in targets and put holes in things. But if you do that, you also need to have the responsibility of knowing how to patch holes in things.
Absolutely.
And I would highly encourage you to come take this class and sign up. We'll be right back after a quick break, talk more about the classes and the events we got coming up, and a little bit more of the impending end of the world in world news.
Woo-woo.
All right, guys, we are back. So we're talking about medical training. So we've got Marsal here, we've got Krystal, and we're going over, we've got a medical class coming up, July 15th. In my opinion, for the quality of training getting in for a solid stop the bleed class is $135 for a 3-hour course. You're getting your money's worth. Like that is usually a class like that should be $200 or $250, but we're just trying to get people in and taking the class. Again, there's going to be more advanced levels after this. This is just going to be kind of a intro, basic to leading into intermediate stuff. And, you being a registered RN, we're able to really get in deep. Like, you're able to go probably pretty high up with what we could cover in some of the more advanced classes.
Oh, absolutely. And it'll be stuff that, again, the civilians, bystanders, that are going to benefit from knowing. If they're ever in that situation, I hope that they're not. But again, the way we were talking, it's not going to get better. So
that's one of those things where it never hurts to have either. Like that's just even aside from everything going to crap, that it's just good information and training to have because accidents happen.
Always.
We've been at matches and at ranges where somebody goes to reholster and pops around through their leg,
right?
Or somebody trips and falls, or you get some of these matches. Some of the guys are a little bit out of shape and elderly, and go down from heat casualty. Do you know what to do for that? All the stuff. There's a lot of basic stuff that people don't think about. They think sucking chest wounds and all the cool Gucci stuff, but they don't think about the everyday stuff that is very likely to encounter. You're more likely to have to use some sort of medical training than your firearm. Since I've been out of the Marine Corps since, man, I feel old, 2009, I've had to use medical training quite a few times at car wrecks, car accidents, people getting hurt, people accidentally stabbing themselves in the wrist, stuff like that. And I've drawn my gun once out of just reaction since I've been out. That's it. So
Right.
Basic math, I've used medical training about 5 times more than firearms training.
And I think a lot of that also has to do with, the medical training itself. You can take that with you, and it's going to apply in most scenarios wherever you are.
Absolutely.
Whether you are out hiking, whether you're at a mall, whether you are, like you were saying, out somewhere and there's heat, or if there's cold. It's like that knowledge is going to be useful wherever you're at.
So off air too.
You go first.
We were talking about an incident that happened the other day, and Krystal seemed slightly interested into what occurred. And this kind of segues into something else, which you've heard us beat to death over and over again, that you've kind of shown a little bit of interest in is going over, and eventually we'll have classes for situational awareness. Because how many, I don't even have to say it, but more often than not, I will stop sometimes and look around where I'm at, and 99% of people have no clue what they're even doing. Like, the situational awareness of your average person these days is non-existent. So breaking that cycle, getting out of it and kind of paying attention to what's going on in you is important. And go ahead and have you talk about what happened, because this is an example of how in a place you would not at all expect anything to happen, you'd have to be stupid to do something. Things can go from 0 to 100 to 0 really fast. And do you have the training, the knowledge, the ability to handle that escalation, take care of things without having it go bad? Because this could have gone bad multiple different ways, multiple different times. And I know, Krystal, that's something we've talked about on the show a million times before.
Yeah.
So walk us through what happened.
So you work at Tactical.
Yes, whatever you called it there. I do. And I guess this would have been 2 days ago now.
Yeah.
It was just a normal morning, like we were talking about. Things were great. And it was myself and 2 other of my coworkers out on the retail side. We had more people in the back. And there was a phone call from an irate customer regarding a part that he had purchased the week before. Words were exchanged. He had threatened to pull up on the place. And at that point, the person who had taken that call had enough concern to make us concerned. And that call came at, I want to say it was 11:52. And by 11:58, that individual was walking through the door.
Wow.
Which is a first. We've had irate callers before, but somebody to say they're going to pull up on us and actually show up.
So they were probably already on the way.
Correct, yes. And they made sure to call and say that, I'm not from St. Charles, and, try and talk a big game with that. But at the end of that call,
wrong crew to do that to.
the shop went hot, and everything was as if that because we didn't know. People say that, and you don't always know, but you better be prepared for when they actually do show up. So that's why I will remember those time marks, because that's how quickly between the end of that call, that individual showing up, and us being ready and prepared, it happened. And speaking of the situational awareness portion of that, this individual walked into the shop with their phone in their hand, did not look up at all going through the door. And of all places to really not peek your head up, a gun shop probably wouldn't be the best one. Had no idea. At that point, he proceeded to go to the front counter where the person who had taken the call was. And from there, I'm going to call it a purse because he was wearing a purse.
It's a purse.
It's definitely a purse.
We reviewed the security footage.
It's a purse. It's not a satchel. It was a purse.
Love it. Continue.
He pulls out a Glock 17. I want to say it was a Glock 17. Magazine was still in it. There was a round in the chamber. It was flagged at all of us, and
wow! Give me my money back, or else I'll
that's pretty
shoot
much
you?
what turned into. But he
Do you
didn't
not
get
know
to
that
that point.
Everybody in a gun shop carries.
Well,
and
you
there's
would
cameras
think
everywhere.
You would think, but at that point, as soon as we saw them pull it out,
Things escalated
appropriately. That firearm was no longer in his possession within milliseconds, if that.
Yeah.
And from there, my other coworker, or can I just, am I allowed to talk about Dieter? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Justin.
He's been on enough times.
Okay,
know.
So Justin, of
I've heard
course,
that name
Justin
before.
was there, and he goes over, and Tevin took the call, goes over and is now interacting with this individual. At that point, I'm going around the backside because thankfully, he was the only customer in the store at that point, which is another thing.
Was not his advantage either.
No, it wasn't, but it's like, there could have been other people there, and that's unfortunate to
Especially,
think about.
It would have taken attention away from him.
It absolutely would have.
And it would have been, he would have had the upper hand in that situation. We'll take a quick break and be right back to finish this story. It gets more interesting. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Hey guys, we got a new sponsor on the show, and it's actually one of my good friends hunting with for years and years. Introducing Adam Gubin from Ṟ Scrap in St. Louis. Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on, Tommy.
Well, you just told everybody out there. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. The cat's out of the bag. I'm no longer TJ Kirgin, aka ᵃᵗ&ᵗ, the local warlord. I'm now Tommy. But that's okay. I can be Tommy Boy.
Hey, when you're a close friend, you can do those kinds of things.
That's exactly right. You know what's funny is, for years, if someone, when I was a police officer, if someone at the mall yelled Tommy, I knew that I could act a certain way. But if somebody yelled TJ, I knew that they knew me from law enforcement. So having different nicknames from different friend groups, from your really good friends to the people that shoot at you.
Absolutely.
It's a good thing. But anyway, Ṟ Scrap. So you guys, you're just off North Broadway in St. Couis.
Correct.
And you guys do metal recycling. What does that mean?
So we are fourth generation of family business. My great grandfather started in 1901. My brother and I have taken it over since 2001 with 49% of the company. We bought the remaining 51% in 2020. So basically, people don't realize in our industry what it entails and the need for it, such as repurpose, right? So, you think about your washer and dryer, your hot water heater, your vehicle, everything from your computer to your tablet.
Everything made of metal.
Everything consists or based around the recycling industry. But 80% of goods that are made today are based around the recycling industry, being that the mines just aren't there refining the scrap or the new materials and making new metal out of it. So they're reliant upon our industry today.
So your industry feeds the manufacturing industries, but it actually...
Our industry feeds the steel mill that feeds the manufacturing industry.
Okay.
So they remelt our scrap into new product, whether it's beams, channels, plates, coils.
So a product comes out, a hot water heater comes out, it lives its life, it heats my showers, and the next thing you know, it's dead. It's in a pickup truck, it's at your place. It gets turned into, it's scrap at that point.
And it gets broke down. The non-metallics go one way, the ferrous and the non-ferrous metals go the other way, and then the non-metallics unfortunately have to go to the landfill, and then the non-ferrous and ferrous metals will go to the mills to be remelted and then
turned into a new hot water heater or a Tesla or something.
All the above.
Right on.
Yep.
Right on. So if I'm a guy that just goes around collecting scrap and that's how I make my money, I can come to you any day of the week and get weighed, get paid, and have a nice day, as you say?
Absolutely. Every day but Sunday.
Okay. What if I just have a washing machine?
Not a problem.
Bicycle?
Absolutely.
Pickup truck?
Absolutely. As long as you have a title.
I saw on your website you guys actually do barges. What if I have a bunch of barges?
We would gladly come down and give you guys a bid on it and talk about the process as far as bidding it all the way to processing it and hauling off site.
Imagine cutting up a barge is kind of a big ordeal.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can
but you guys can do that.
Absolutely.
So everything from beer cans to barges.
Absolutely.
You can do.
Absolutely.
I know he wants me to say aluminum, so it's not so.
I would prefer aluminum, but we'll go with beer cans.
There's a lot of aluminum cans out there.
Yeah, but there's
hey, I didn't say White Claw cans.
Hey, TJ, there is soda in cans too, not just beer.
Sorry. All right, well, if you are in the St. Louis area and you have scrap, you've got those old bikes laying around, you got the dishwasher, you got the washing machine, you got the old hot water heater, or something comes up where you need to get rid of some metal stuff, you can simply just go to ṟcoscrap.com, find the directions, head downtown, drop it off, get weighed. What do you say?
Get weighed, get paid, and have a nice day. As well, we do have containers that we do put on site.
Oh, so like
if any industry or manufacturing, we have a fleet of gondola trailers, roll-off containers, and lugger boxes that we can also drop on site. Call dispatch. We'll swap them out, typically within 24 hours for service. Take it back to our facility. It's effortless for you guys.
So manufacturers, distributors, warehouses, anybody who's going to have scrap metal, they can bring a roll-off container or a dumpster or whatever to my location. I can fill it up. Matter of fact, I think we used you a few years ago because we had a bunch of ammo containers that were made out of a certain kind of metal that we needed to get rid of, and you guys made it disappear for us.
We did. And you got a check in the mail.
And we got a check in the mail. That's even better. So that's where the whole industrial and commercial part of ṟᵉᵗ comes in. So if you've just got a bag of soda cans, or you need a roll-off container, or you have an entire fleet of barges that need to be disposed of and turned into hot water heaters, you guys can help.
Absolutely.
Awesome. ṟᵉᵗscrap.com, everybody. They're a great supporter of this show and everything we believe in, which is America.
So we left off the individual who came into the shop had already called,
probably named Walter,
then came in threateningly and had his gun in his hand, which it was then we left off where it was immediately taken from him and cleared.
Very
what
quickly.
continued to happen after that?
Well, he kept his purse on because I don't have an answer for that one.
No,
but
I know it does.
Immediately after that, it was farther removed from him, as in distance and proximity wise. We made sure that he would have no way or ability to access or even attempt to access any of our weapons that we had on our person. And as things were escalating, he started making more threats. Quite literally what you had said, give me my money back type of ordeal. He wasn't understanding the fact of, legally we have to follow very strict rules and protocols, because we're not trying to go to federal prison.
I mean, the item in question literally clearly states on the packaging, must be installed by a Glock armor or a gunsmith.
Right.
Oh.
A buddy did it.
A buddy of his.
Oh.
And
Which I've always, anytime I hear that, I immediately cringe because I know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
We told him, let us look at it first. It may be something very simple. And we told him we'd work with him. We told him it says on the receipt, clear as day, gun parts, all sales are final. But I still offered him store credit if it legitimately looked like it was an issue with the trigger. But let us take a look because it's probably something very simple.
Right. And so at that point, we know nothing, and we sold him a bad trigger, and we're going to give him the money back, is what he thought in his mind. So there was no real reasoning or trying to...
Or thinking,
period. And their conversation continued.
Wait. Sorry. We kind of skipped over the part where his gun got taken from him.
Right.
So
my staff has complete 100%, be respectful if customers get an attitude, try to de-escalate it. But if someone flags you or is being unsafe with a firearm, I have zero issues with you snagging a firearm from someone and clearing it. Especially if employees are getting flagged, because now it's a safety concern.
Is this a tackle situation? Is this a James Bond move? What is...
I'd say more. It sounds like the way it was just a simple snag it out of his hands.
It was a
That's
simple...
That's usually how it goes.
Right.
Just snag it right out of their hands.
Because they're not prepared for that either.
Okay.
Especially with his head buried in his phone walking through the door. He's not going to be prepared, and probably did not expect that to happen.
Right.
To our advantage, thankfully, it was not a tackle over-the-counter type ordeal. But that he made it easy.
It would have gone that way.
It could have gone that
if it
way.
had to, easily.
So at that point, firearms cleared. It's well away from him. Conversation continues, and I grab. In fact, because I didn't have my phone, because I lose my phone every 30 minutes. Everyone else knows where it's at but me. So I grabbed Dieter's phone off the countertop, and I had called for authorities, because at that point we did not know which way this was going to go.
It's either they're going to show up and help, or they're going to show up to pull in a corner.
Right. And at that point, I knew his vehicle. I could see his vehicle from inside the store. I wanted to be able to give them the best description of him, his vehicle, and, there were no other customers. I wanted to make sure there was nothing else out in the parking lot as far as other vehicles that were in connection with him, because you don't know. This guy could have had 6 buddies waiting outside.
That's fair.
So not only do you have to make sure that what's going on inside is okay, but also what are you dealing with outside? And to our unfortunate surprise, that vehicle had 2 children in it, both under the age of 5. The vehicle itself was running, and I had assumed, and I should not have assumed, that the AC would have been on given it was running. It wasn't. It was a hot day.
Yeah, it was about 100 degrees that day.
Yeah, and on that blacktop out there.
Inside a car, it's miserable.
Right.
I can only imagine.
So once PD had arrived, they made contact with myself. I gave them information as to what I knew so far. They went inside, made contact with this individual, as well as Justin and Tevin. And at that point, he was much more calm, and things have been de-escalated without any need of what could have happened. However, there's still 2 kids in this vehicle.
Yep.
So immediately I opened the door to the, I guess it would have been the driver rear door, and there was a little girl, she's probably maybe 4. Just you could tell that she had been crying because, you could see the tear stains on her face, and just terrified. Like the look in her eyes is she just started to cry again. And that's when I knew the AC wasn't on because I could feel it. And,
he's fired. He's fired. I'm
Yeah.
trash right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of seals
that's
the
when
deal.
I was, that did it for me. Like kids and dogs, that's,
Yeah.
So I was talking to her, and she doesn't know who I am.
Yeah.
Like I'm not in a uniform right now. All she knows is we pulled up to this place with Dad, and Dad's
Who was
in
probably
the store.
yelling on
Right.
the phone.
Yep.
Well,
Yelling on the
speeding
phone
there
in front of them.
and then just
disappears. So I wanted to make sure that, I introduced myself to her, and I said, Dad's okay. He's just working through some stuff inside. Are you okay? And she was reluctant to talk, and because she's terrified. They freeze up in moments like that. And that's when I noticed that there was a second child in the vehicle, which she said was her brother, who was younger. And he just was hysterical in tears. So I don't know how much he could speak because he was maybe a year old. Like he was young.
Which makes it even worse.
So I went around and I turned the AC on, and I asked her, I'm like, are you thirsty? Like, what can I do? Like at this point, now that the situation has since, for the most part, calmed down, we have law enforcement there. She said yes, and so we went and got her water, got her brother water, and the entire vehicle smelt of weed and whatever else was in the weed. And that's when I was just like
a little beyond disgusted.
I didn't think I could get more disgusted, but it happened, and it broke my heart for those kids because that this is their normal.
Yeah.
And
it's probably not the first time it's happened.
Right. And it unfortunately won't be the last.
Also, I'm pretty sure as a parent, you're not supposed to leave your kids in a vehicle unattended to begin with.
Yeah, especially at that age.
Yeah.
And at a gun shop.
Yeah.
And with drugs.
And with the car running.
When it's hot.
Yeah.
So, it was, by the time law enforcement came, it was much more, I don't want to say calm because we were mad and upset. Leveled, I guess that is a better word.
Yeah.
But it was, if it hadn't been for the 3 of us knowing and being able to tell what the potential of somebody could range from in their anger and being prepared for that, it could have gone south.
Easily.
And it's a very different thing to have to think about. It's a lot different than being out for you guys in combat previously, or like you kind of know what you're expecting. Or anytime I've been out with SWAT, it's like we kind of know in a way like, hey, we're in this mindset.
That's not something you expect to happen.
That's really not. So it's a nice little boost of adrenaline, but to trust the people that you have working or beside you, whether you are literally on a line or you are at the store. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what made this particular situation go the way it did.
We'll be right back after this break for last and final segment. Don't go anywhere. We are back for our last and final segment here. So, talking about, we went over an incident that happened at the shop and kind of just situational awareness and how things can change and all the different things to assess. We talked about our medical class. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about all the stuff we got going on in July over at Tactical SHT in St. Peter's. We have a ton of stuff for July. So, as of right now, July 1st, we have a CCW class pending. We actually get signups. Then July 7th, thank you.
7th is a Friday.
7th is night vision workshop. First Friday of the month, we always have this. You can come out, you can experience night vision, navigate the warehouse with it, shoot some airsoft guns with an IR laser, so you're able to see what it's like to fire a weapon under night vision. And just if you're in the market or considering being in the market for night vision, which now I can say I've got stuff sub $3,000, so it is becoming more affordable. We do have affordable options. We offer financing in-house as well, so ask about that, and I can set that up for you if that's something you want to do. So we've got that Friday, first Friday of the month. Then the 15th, we have the medical class. Please come in and sign up for that. That is something, if you have a gun, carry a gun, shoot, don't shoot, doesn't matter. Come get some basic medical training, how to stop the bleed, how to assess people. It's just good knowledge to have.
How do you sign up online, or do you have to go inside the store?
I have it online. I can have a link made for anybody listening to the podcast, and then we can sign up in store as well. So either or, you can either it's on under new products on the website, or just look up class, and it will come up. Or you can stop by the St. Peter's location and sign up.
It's also on the Facebook group.
Yes, that's right.
On our Facebook page, there's an event where you can sign up, and the link will bring you right to the website.
Oh, I forgot I did that. Yeah.
Yeah. And and for those who haven't been in the shop, we do have medical supplies too.
Yeah.
And
pretty much build your own medical kit.
Right. So at any point, if anybody ever has any questions outside of this class too, like, come up, let's chat. And
we've got somebody there at any given time who knows at least a decent amount about something. So when you're there, you definitely know the most. Everybody else knows at least bare minimum.
Is there like a kit or something after taking the class? Is it like a generic kit? Is there like a special kit just for people who take the class?
So for the second trauma class, we're going to have more of a suggested, here's from our experience, our backgrounds, what we suggest having, and offer a kit. Mm-hmm. And we'll probably do some sort of combo where if you buy the kit, then you'll get like greatly discounted class.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be interested
and then offer
in
the kit.
Yeah.
We used to sell pre-made kits, and then the problem with that is a lot of people, depending on their level of training, like, well, I only know how to use or only need half of this.
Right.
So I need to bring those back, but we also primarily what we do is just like with rifles, build your own. You can pick out all the individual parts according to your skill and knowledge and build your own kit.
Which is going to be really beneficial
for
the people who may not know what they need based on what they do, because this is new to them, and it'll be more individualized by that.
Or if you have some training and some stuff already, but you realize you're missing some things, you don't have to buy a whole new kit. You can just pick up whatever you're missing. So again, that's July 15th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on a Saturday. And then was it the 22nd, I want to say? Yeah, 1 week later.
Is it the 22nd or is it the 20th? 22nd.
Yeah, 22nd. We've got Customer Appreciation Day. Can't say for sure yet. We're working on having firearms giveaways, suppressor giveaways, door prizes. We're going to have a store-wide sale. We're going to have some vendors set up. We're going to have some friendly airsoft competitions. We don't have a shooting range, but we can shoot airsoft. So we're going to have some drills for time, and probably some prizes for whoever has the best time. We're going to have knife combatives demonstration and mini workshop. We're going to have the axe throwing room open for the crossbows that we sell. We're going to have flamethrower demonstrations every hour. We're going to have our flashbang demonstrations so people can see how that works. Like I said, store-wide sale, vendors, and we're working on getting either barbecue or a food truck with
There's
free
the
food.
Okay.
Food truck.
I was like, food.
And we still have leftover beer from the ᵃᵗᵗ, so we'll have a limited amount of free booze as well.
Yeah.
So it's just our day to thank everybody who supported us by just having a fun time and a bunch of free stuff, and come in, buy some ammo, buy some gear. Basically, the whole store is going to be on sale for that day, and it should be a fun time.
Sounds fun.
How's your shop going?
It's going. Actually, it's going pretty well. I am starting to fall out of the of like, this
freaking
is,
out.
oh my gosh, to like, okay, we've got some sort of a pattern. I can like start to look at like the numbers and compare. It's not just all one big guessing game. You know, it's like hours. I don't know. Like last time I told you guys we're open from 9 to 9, Monday through Friday.
That's brutal.
It is brutal. Yeah, when I said that, you guys are both like, oh.
I do 10 to 6
How do
or
you
10 to
staff
7.
that? Right?
Well, it's just my husband and I.
Speaking of that, one of you, because obviously it can't be both of you, if you guys want to come out and set up a table at Customer Appreciation Day
that'd be
with
fun.
some info and some samples and cards, absolutely.
Wait, what kind of samples? Because we've got like
whatever you want.
Protein and pre-workout, but we've also got the higher part of the nutrition.
Both.
So we've got CBD and THC.
No,
and-
both.
Oh, we got flour
We're
now.
friendly.
We had one of the shops set up, but you know, one of them, Will, came out. He was set up
Oh, yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Silky's Rock, so we don't have a problem with that either.
Cool. Excellent.
There's a lot of stuff
Are
going
we-
on.
Bike night's the only other thing.
Oh yeah, well,
20th.
20th. Okay.
That's the 20th.
Wait, do you guys host the bike night?
No.
No, we're Big St. Charles reached out to us saying that they want to have us back again, setting up booths. So we'll have a booth set up at Bike Night as well.
I didn't know they had booths at bike night. That's super legit.
Yeah, not a whole bunch, but
That's really, I've been to like a lot of bike nights. This is all in California. And like, nope, it was just a bunch of people
I can
getting
only
together.
Well.
And
I
then
feel
they,
like
you know,
bike
go and
nights
do
in
illegal things.
California is going to be much bigger than the bike night here.
No, but no, there were no vendors or.
That's
Probably
lame.
wasn't room. I would imagine way more people.
Yeah.
But we'll be there.
Yep. We'll
And,
have.
When it-
Typically,
when-
we keep it.
20th.
The
Yeah.
20th. At
I think starts at 6.
Big St. Charles.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 is like early. It's like that's
Starts
like,
at
that's
6.
like middle of the day
It
in
goes
summer.
till like 10 o'clock.
Right.
Oh, cool.
It goes late.
Yeah.
But I think it starts at either 6 or 7. And they've usually got a full bar, wings, food, snacks.
So I know I always say like, "Ooh, that sounds really cool. I want to go." I really want to go to that.
I'm going to
That's
host
a good
you
time.
that one now then.
Wait, what's the 20th?
I believe
Should be a
it's
Thursday.
a Thursday. Yeah.
They always do it. It's the last Thursday of the month, isn't it? Or third Thursday of the month? One of those.
Third. Yeah.
Yeah,
third.
that sounds right.
But July is going to be huge. I am stoked.
Yeah, literally
It's-
almost every single weekend we've got an
It's
event
awesome.
going on. You know, summer gets boring, but it's all relatively free or cost-friendly stuff. Again, please come out and get some medical training. To me, that's the most important one. But also come out for Customer Appreciation Day. Even if you just want to walk around the shop, talk to everybody, eat some free food, drink some free booze, and leave.
yeah.
That's what I'm
That's
gonna do.
fine too.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's. We like to chat. It's
Cool.
fun.
Yeah, we'll have some cool workshops. Come shoot some airsoft guns and have fun. Maybe accidentally shoot Pat in the butt with an airsoft gun. Use the flamethrower.
I don't know who Pat is. So
You will.
Okay.
I don't know
I'll point him
why
out
we
to you.
abuse him, but we do.
Because he's
He's very shootable.
He's very well.
He's very shootable.
He gets shot with an airsoft gun about 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
I mean, he got it good
Yeah,
yesterday.
he's
right
got like
here.
5 nipples right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
we were trying to give him a new one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, Justin was trying to shoot him in the nipple.
Yeah, he did very well.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Well,
fun stuff.
if all 3 of us can be back next week, TJ will be out of town in Florida again next week. So we will be joining you again, the 3 of us, next week for another estrogen amped episode.
Hey.
Later, guys. Stay safe.